Welcome to HTMT ProdTalk. Today we're talking about component assembly. First, let's have a look at some key vocab of today's lesson. Component. Transistor. Integrated circuit. Damaged pin. PCB layout. Part number. Inventory. Thermal paste. Circuit board. Alignment marks. Keyed connector. Screws. Overheating. Designated position. Assembly diagram. Resistor. Capacitor. Malfunction. Work instructions. Polarity. Assembly process. Electrolytic capacitor. Ceramic capacitor. Soldering. Short circuit. Let's have a look at the table that summarizes all the key vocab of today's lesson before we move on to the practice speaking part. Have you got all the words? Now let's listen to the conversation.
Today, we're assembling components on the production line. Do you know how to place the capacitors?
Yeah, just stick them anywhere, right?
No. Each component has a designated position. Look at the assembly diagram.
Ah, but this one looks the same as that one.
No. This is a resistor, and that is a capacitor. Mixing them up will cause a malfunction.
Oh, so I should put them randomly?
Let me show you. This resistor has a color code, and this capacitor has numbers for capacitance.
Wait, numbers? Colors? This is getting complicated.
Read this. It tells you exactly where each component goes.
Blah, blah. Place carefully. Blah, blah. Oh, so I must check the polarity?
Yes, if you place it the wrong way, the circuit won't work.
Okay, okay. But wait, some capacitors don't have polarity, right?
That's right. Ceramic capacitors don't have polarity, but electrolytic capacitors do.
What?
Electrolytic capacitors store more energy, so they need correct polarity. If you place them incorrectly,
What? They explode?
well, in extreme cases, yes. So be careful.
Got it. Follow the assembly process, check polarity, and don't be lazy.
Good. Now, let's move to soldering.
Wait, we have to solder too? Ugh, so much work.
Of course. But first, do you know the right temperature for soldering?
Hot?
The correct temperature is between 350 to 400 degrees Celsius. If it's too low, the solder won't stick. If it's too high, it damages the board.
Okay, okay. I'll follow the rules.
Good. Now, double check your work before we move to testing.
Testing? More work?
Yes, we need to make sure there are no short circuits before sending the board for final assembly.
Fine. But if I do this right, do I get a break?
Sure, after we finish quality inspection.
All right. Let's get this done properly.
Okay, have you got the idea of the talk?
Today,
Now let's move to speaking practice. As you can see on the left of the table, I put all the key vocabulary of the lesson. And on the right, we have some sentences to have you practice. Now let's start. What are we doing today? We are assembling components on the production line. Why can't we place components randomly? Because each component has a designated position. What should we check before placing capacitors? We must check the assembly diagram and polarity. What happens if we mix up components? It can cause a malfunction. What's the difference between an electrolytic capacitor and a ceramic capacitor? An electrolytic capacitor has polarity, but a ceramic capacitor does not. Why is the correct soldering temperature important? If the temperature is too low, the solder won't stick. If it's too high, it damages the board. What should we check after assembling components? We must check for short circuits before final assembly. That's it for today's lesson. Thank you for watching and see you soon. HTMT ProdTalk.